Hi there. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's been a while. I haven't done a podcast or a YouTube video for a very long time. And I'm trying very hard not to feel guilty about that because it's actually perfect and divine timing. I'm not selling you how to make $1 million. I'm not selling you how to make your business do XYZ or how to lose 10 pounds or any of that. And so there isn't the same ability in me to show up week after week and just talk to you about things that don't matter. I want to make sure that every time I'm here, every time I talk to you, every time you stop and listen, that there's something for both of us in here. I've recently started offering an offer called the Wild Twin. And the Wild Twin kind of explains this in, out, push, pull, show up, don't show up, this need to be in a creative cave as much as being in a creative studio. Because the wild twin, as I understand it, I first heard about it in Martin Shaw's book, Courting the Wild Twin. And he talked about how when we are born, the moment we are born, there is two of us, two parts of us are born. There's the part of us that stays in the human realm, and then there's the part of us that gets sent off into the woods to live, to be wild, to grow there. And his story in his book is a much more beautiful and much more poetic and much more mythic version than mine. But within days of reading that book, of loving the whole concept of it, I found another book. This one was by Elizabeth Hunter. And the same concept was there. The same concept of when we are born, there are two parts of us born. And in her book, one goes to be shadow kin and one goes to be light kin. And the light kin is the human. It does all of the things a human does. And then there's a duplicate, a replica, a magical version of us that goes and lives with the fairy, with the fae, with the fairies. And as always, with magical, mythical tales, there is this kernel of truth in it for us. There's this kernel of, wait, what if that's what happened to me, right? What if that is the magic? The ogres in fairy tales are representative of the trials and the struggles that we come up against in our own life's adventure. We meet the witch in the woods when it's time for us to up level. We go through the dark forest on the dark path when we are lost and looking for more. And so in these stories, there is so much more for us. In this story of the wild twin, there is this beautiful understanding for me of what happened or what could have happened when we were born. And my as I have gone through these stories and as I've created this new wild twin offer, what has come to me over and over again is that it wasn't really a separation. We weren't separated at birth. It wasn't two twins living the same life like we see sometimes in on TV, this idea that two parts of us went off and didn't even know about each other. What I have really come to understand and to wonder about is that the wild twin aspect of us, the wild twin part of us, is the part of us that took all of the most beautiful, most mythic parts of us, the dreams, the sensitivities, the parts that we knew, that we know to be deeply true about ourselves. The wild twin kind of took responsibility for all of that, for keeping it alive. What if? What if the wild twin is the part of us that is keeping your dream that you've always had, that's been with you your whole life, alive? What if the wild twin is the part of us that is not encumbered by beliefs, by stories, by programs, by lessons, by school, by lineage, by family by caretakers, by friendships, by jobs, by government, by anything. The wild twin is the part of us that knows that no matter what else happens, there is this thing that we know that we came here to be or do or have or experience. There's this part of us that we know is ours. And the wild twin is the part of us. What if the wild twin is the part of us that protected this knowing and also kept the fire lit, kept the dream alive, kept the magic of us, of our truth, ready for us, alive for us, nourished for us the whole time we've been alive. And not in a, I feel guilty because I haven't done this sort of way, but in a, oh my gosh, it's ready, I'm ready, it's finally time, it's here sort of way. What if the wild twin has known all along what is deeply true for you, what is inevitable, what you are here to do, what your magic really is? And it's the reason you've had glimpses of it and the reason that it hasn't gone away for you is because it's alive, because it's happening, because it is being cared for, because it is being protected, because it is being nourished and continues to be nourished, that you haven't missed anything. You have held this thing until now, until you are ready for it, until it's time. What if this wild twin is actually all of the deepest, truest knowing that you have, unfettered by all of the reasons, the very good reasons you have not to do it? It's protected that part of you your whole life. How do I know? How do you know it's there? Because it's still alive. Logically, rationally, practically, realistically, we should have given up long ago on some of the things that we dream of. And yet, here comes another vision board, and there it is. Here comes another journaling session, and there it is. I asked a question of my email list and my Facebook friends a couple of weeks ago now, and I said, because I thought this was all about permission. I was mistaken. I am sorry. I thought it was all about permission. And I said, what are you waiting for permission to be, do, have, or experience in your life? What have you been waiting all of your life to be able to be, do, have, or create? And all of the answers were beautiful. None of the answers were get a job. None of the answers were be reasonable, be practical, be serious. None of them. All of them were be an artist, be myself. And 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 all of the ages, lots of people told me how old they were in their answers. Now that I'm 82, now that I'm 75, now that I'm this age, I feel like I don't need permission anymore, but I'm still waiting to do X, Y, Z. And and I realized that it wasn't permission that they were waiting for. What if that's not what they were waiting for? Because really, when you get to be 40 plus, whose permission are you waiting for anymore? What are we even doing? That's not true. I was wrong. What we are doing now is we're just in such a habit of waiting. We're in such a state of waiting, of holding, of believing all of the lies that we're too old. Who are you to? Who am I to? Um, no one will listen to me anyway. Uh, I have to change my whole life if I do this. Blah, blah, all these very good reasons. We're listening to them. We're so used to listening to them. But so logically, our dreams should be dead. Our dreams should have disappeared. We should have said, you know what? Fine. I'm 90 years old. There's no way I'm going to be an artist now. Fair. But they haven't. And that's not logical. That's not reasonable. That's not sensible. That's not the actions, the belief system, the outcome of someone who believes in a rational world, believes that A plus B equals C, because it's not logical. So what is happening? This dream, this thing that won't go away, this identity that you're looking for, this muchness, this magic, this you-ness, this inevitable outcome for you has been kept alive by this wild twin, by your wild self, by your deep, loving, knowing, rich, true self. And it's not going away. This part of you will keep this alive forever. And as long as and the reason you long for it is because it's right there. And the longer you wait to start, the longer you wait to listen, the longer you wait to say, hey, wild twin, let's start tiptoeing together. Let's sneak up on this. Let me kind of get in touch with this. Let me know what's going on. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's finally combine together and do this. The longer you wait to do that, the longer you're going to live with the longing. The longer you're going to live with the wishing, the hoping, the knowing that it's right there. Do you want to do that? Or do you want to reintegrate? Do you want to say, thank you so much, wild twin? Let's start doing this. I am ready to live whole. Because your longing is a seeking. Your longing is a knowing that there is a whole part of you that hasn't been lived yet, that's ready, that's there. You can peeking over the fence. This is happening. This fire is lit. I can smell it. I can see the flames through the trees. It's mine. This fire is mine. And I'm going to keep circling it and hoping and wishing for it. Or you can step through the trees and sit beside it and help tend it and create something with its heat. This is what I believe the wild twin is all about. And so if this gave you a tingle, if this made you recognize, if this made you see, if your wild twin used me to tap on your shoulder and say, come on, I'm ready, it's time, then I invite you to join me in Wild Twin. The link is below. It is not a course, it is an adventure. It's getting offline. You get an entire Wild Twin field guide, which you can print or you can look out online and use your journal, whatever you want, and get out and go find that fire in the clearing and go sit beside it. Your version, it might not be a fire, it might be a fountain, it might be an art gallery, it might be anywhere where it's waiting for you and you will find it if you come with me on this adventure. And our wild twins can collaborate and be in cahoots to help us all show up for what it is that we are here to show up for, to create what it is that we're here to create. I hope you will join me. The link is below. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm excited to be back. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is.